What's good, guys? I'm Jon the Chief, and for this video, it's gonna be going over the brand new update for December 11th, 2018. So, for the big one, the most important part of this update is that they're actually allowing special re-specking. So, every time a player levels up after level 50, they can now choose whether to unlock a new perk card or transfer one previously allocated special point from one category to another. So, as you can see in this clip, I am actually transferring some of my perception points because I moved from a rifle build to a heavy build when playing this game, and because of that, I don't need so much perception. I have 15. I would rather have some luck instead. So I can transfer some of that into my luck, into endurance, into other things that I'm lacking, which is actually a huge thing, because otherwise you have to create a new character for every single build you want to make. Anyways, let's get into all the other stuff that this update has, because it has actually a ton. So for the most of it, it's actually a lot of stability improvements, performance improvements. It's little things that you probably won't be noticing too much. It's like fixing little bugs, and that kind of deal. So I'm not really going to go into too much detail about all of that because you won't probably notice too much. You're just going to say, oh, hey, this isn't as glitchy as it was before. Anyways, so for balance, they're actually making the .308 ammo dropped by creatures reduced. So you're not going to get as much. It's going to be in about 1 to 5 bullets of that instead of like 12 for just killing one enemy. So you won't have as much .308 ammo. So if you're actually a light machine gun user which uses .308 and it has a huge fire rate, this might hurt you. But light machine guns aren't usually that great, so it probably won't hurt too many people. Most people use hunting rifles with .308, and you won't be feeling this nerf at all, probably. Super mutants will now drop gunpowder half as often, and the chance for additional loot has been reduced. Caps are guaranteed loot on super mutants until level 16. So if you're under level 16, all the super mutants you kill will actually be dropping you caps, which is kind of nice. Gunpowder, they're trying to ease you into using the cloth, because cloth isn't really used for too much in the game so far. Probably they want you to use your cloth and acid to create gunpowder. And yeah, that's basically it for the super mutants. Also, they do have a ton of loot, so they're reducing that. Scorch Beast Queen will now land on the ground more often. If you guys been fighting the Scorch Beast Queen farming her, you will know this problem. Sometimes she barely lands and it makes it hard as hell to kill her. Workshops players no longer gain XP when crafting at a public workshop, so that isn't too big of a hit. You probably won't notice it that much. It's a small amount of the XP you're earning. And then it's mostly stuff to do with camps, so like it's quality of life improvements. You can remove the trees and rocks and stuff. They won't actually be in the way when you're designing your camp, so you don't need to worry too much about that. It won't be as bad as it used to be. Like if you try to put your camp somewhere near like a junk pile and you want to be using resources but there's like a bunch of trees and stuff around it, you can actually build stuff that'll make it get out of your way, which is actually really good. Placing an object to remove an obstruction, and then removing the object will cause that obstruction to reappear after some time or upon logging back in. Camp placement improvements. If you do have a camp at a place that's already has a camp in that server, so you log in, you go into the world, and then someone already has a camp where you are, what normally happens is that your camp disappears. But with this update, what's going to happen is that if you back out and then go back into a new server where there is no camp there, your camp will be there again, as long as you don't place the new one. So that's a big thing. I know some friends that have been having that trouble themselves, so that's actually a really useful thing. And then, let's see, additional camp crafting and workshop updates. The percentage of a camp's budget that is being taken up by stored items and blueprints will now appear in the budget bar. While in build mode, players can now toggle the left joystick on controllers or press Q on PC to switch view between objects that can be built and those that cannot. The power produced by the windmill has been increased from 3 to 12, and players can now purchase atomic shop items directly from the workshop menu. Now the windmill thing, I don't think many people use windmill just because it gave like no power, and it took up way too much space. It was really big. It didn't go well with other things. So this is actually a pretty good thing for the windmill to actually be stronger. They also changed a lot of the event quests. There's gonna be less XP for a majority of the events. So fertile soil, collision course, tea time, guided meditation, distinguished guest, battle bots, line in the sand, protest march, Grafton Day, Patrol Duty, Jailbreak, Back on the Beat, and Feed the People. You're going to get less XP for those, and also the cooldown timer that begins after starting each of those events has been increased from 48 minutes to 1 hour and 12 minutes, so you won't be able to farm these events as much. Honestly, though, those events aren't farmed too much for loot. I think Line in the Sand is the only one that I have friends that like to do, but the other ones don't really give too much loot for it, so you're only doing it for like side stuff. Also, they're adding a 15-minute cooldown timer has been added to the end of each Enclave event quest, so you won't be able to farm those nearly as often too. So it might make it a little bit harder for the promotion quest, which is like the second last quest in the game, I believe. It's the I'm not gonna give any more spoilers because it has been too long since the game came out. In addition, they're also adding a lot of interface stuff, like push to talk settings, depth of field settings, field of view settings, stuff like that. It's to make it look a little bit better on your screen. Also, a little bit of changes for the AFK timer. They're actually increasing it to 30 minutes, and then you're also getting a warning prompt for 3 minutes instead of 1 minute now, and a bunch of stuff for the Atomic Shop. They really are pushing for us to actually use the Atomic Shop. I've been saving most of my points for maybe a cool skin. I don't know if they'll add any like event skins, which would be actually really cool, Bethesda, if you guys add some nice event skins for like some of the Christmas season holiday in the apocalyptic world. Okay, but the rest of it is mostly just bug fixes. There aren't too much just like visual glitches or just little performance glitches, and they're trying to make it so the game's actually more stable, which is one of the biggest problems people are having in the game. I think the biggest known problem with Fallout 76, besides all the crashes and bugs, was the glitch where you would sometimes deal no damage. This has affected me greatly. So what would happen is that you'll be shooting at an enemy, you're going to see the hit markers, you're going to see their health go down, but then it doesn't treat it like it goes down because it goes right back up later. So that's the big thing about it. Yeah, so it's mostly going to be glitches that they're fixing as quality of life stuff. Like one of them is the caps glitch in order to get infinite caps. They're also fixing a lot of actual bugs that are hurting the game instead of like making people have more fun. Like the more caps glitch is making people have more fun because they can actually buy everything they want to buy. But there's some glitches that are actually hurting people. So like the Scorched Beast one, where the one in Glass Cavern can fly through walls, that's also patched, so now it won't be disappearing all the time. The Mirelurk Queen won't be dealing more damage than intended through its acid attack, which actually would instant kill you basically, even in like top tier power armor. So that's kind of crazy. They fixed that, and it's a lot of different little glitches that is being fixed. So it's not nearly as bad. Also quests, it's also a bunch of errors like personal matters. They fixed issues that prevent Evan from spawning correctly. They fixed Feed the People, where the event quests granted canned meat stew to all the players on the server, which actually confused me because I did not know that's where I was getting the canned meat stew. Randomly I'll be playing and I'll get it. That really confused me, so that's kind of nice. They also patched things for PvP, weapon damage. Higher level weapons won't be dealing damage during PvP. That used to be a big glitch, but now that's fixed. Team PvP, so like if you attack someone who's on a team, their teammates can attack you. They're doing a lot of stuff to increase the quality of life in the game, which is probably the most important part about all of this, is because that is the main problem that people are having. There's a lot of fun stuff to do in the game if you actually enjoy this type of stuff, but it's the quality of life is kind of terrible because it's glitchy, it's laggy, there's a lot of bugs, and it makes it so you can have a terrible time sometimes with the game, and it's really frustrating. Alright, but that's basically it for the video, guys. Hope all of you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and have a good day.